Well, Dave, it was an exciting weekend here at CBR. Just with what you've been seeing from Yoshinobu Yamamoto, seeing his live BP, the excitement from the guys, just was kind of your takeaway from just seeing him take the mound here?
I think just the poise, the composure to, obviously there's a lot of expectations, and for him to kind of control the emotion still, execute pitches, and obviously there are rave reviews from the hitters.
When you think about just all of the young pitchers that are in this group this year, what has kind of impressed you most about just this first week of seeing, well, I guess week and a half, seeing them in camp?
I think that the young pitchers have taken a step forward mentally. I think that you can see how they're carrying themselves now. Even a year ago, watching Stone, Sheehan, and Miller around, you can see they're searching. But I think that right now there's a lot more confidence, in the way they carry themselves.
And I know you've mentioned that with Shohei, he's just he's taking the lead on how his arm feels, kind of what his progression looks like. But what has he expressed to you as kind of the most important next step for him?
I think that for Shohei, he's got it down in the sense of the day to day. I think that each day he has a plan, and part of that is the rehab process. Part of it, as today, he's going to take live batting practice, so to prepare himself for that. I don't know, haven't had the conversation as far as like the expectations. I think it's just more of kind of each day preparing himself, and as we start playing games, and at some point in time he'll get into games, and just to kind of get better each day.
Is he going to swing, or is he just kind of tracking?
That's up to him, and I think for us, that's every player's decision. Just to get in the batter's box, see some pitching, and if they choose to swing the bat, great. And if they want to just track, that's their prerogative.
Is that because of just how he's felt the last couple of VPs? Like, was there something that he accomplished that made him feel kind of ready to do this now today?
That's something that is probably a better question for him or the hitting guys. I think that, as you can see, I've kind of given him the latitude that when he feels like he can participate, I'm confident that he knows what it takes to get himself ready. So I don't know what triggered now participating in the live BPs.
Is that a thing he communicates with you every morning, or
That's the hitting coaches. The hitting coaches, yep.
Are those young starting pitchers competing for the spot to fill for Walker for a while, or do you have someone in mind?
I think that's fair. Obviously, we expect James to be in the rotation, and Walker's kind of going to be slow to get back with us. So, I think that each guy, whether they're competing against each other, themselves, I think kind of for me, it's just go out there and prepare, and as things kind of play out and shape out as the spring goes, then we'll fill in the blanks. But each of those guys, those young guys that are sort of kind of in the mix, really are off to a good start.
How long do you anticipate that spot being available?
That's a good question. I don't want to, put pressure on the training staff or Walker. I do know that he is throwing the baseball really well. As the days go on, he's going to get very anxious knowing who he is as a competitor. I just don't know right now. When he gets into the regular routine of facing hitters, extending, getting some length, then I think it'll be more clear to kind of project. But right now I don't even know, time to return for Walker Buehler.
Is there any chance he gets into?
As like guys competing for one spot, or with the way it sounds like you guys are going to be moving a lot of pieces around to give guys rest and certain things. Like, are you more trying to get a sense right now of who can we count on in the regular season? Who can come up if we need a start? Like, is it a little more kind of nebulous than it might be if it's just like we have one spot that guys?
I think right now where we're at is there's a lot of capable arms as far as starters and guys that we have put in spot start roles or relief roles. And I think right now in spring training, the calendar is to build as many of those guys up, all those guys up, to kind of get them healthy, get their feet under them, build them up, build up the pitch counts. And, you're starting to look, 3, 4, 5 weeks before we have to really make any type of decision. And a lot, as we've all learned, can change. So I think that right now to kind of try to plug these pieces in, it just doesn't make any sense. So I think that right now, build them all up, from 1 inning to 2 innings to 3 innings to 4 innings. And at that point in time, I think we'll know more as time kind of goes on.
To go back to Walker, is he going to pitch in Cactus League games at all?
I think that right there is probably unlikely.
Do you have any update on who's going to start on Thursday, Friday?
It's not going to be Yamamoto. I know that. We'll see. I'm not sure. I do have an idea, but we'll kind of let that out. I'll let that out tomorrow. I'll let you guys know tomorrow.
Have you guys got any clarity from Major League Baseball, like if there's going to be any tweaks to the roster for the Korea series? If you're going to be able to carry extra people or anything like that?
I think it's obviously it's 26 active, and I think I could be wrong, but I think it's 3 extra players that will get to taxi, and just to kind of prevent for a potential injury. So I think we'll get 3 extra players to bring along with us.
How does it work with the exhibition games? Do you get to is
I
that
think with
the
the
same
exhibition,
group?
I think the exhibition games, I don't think there's a limit on that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you could bring additional.
I think so.
Are guys more excited about the trip, or is there some level of, they had to be here a week earlier, there's all the travel that you do before the start of the season? Like, kind of where are they at on that scale of excitement versus the extra burden that it...
Well, I hope their mindset is to be excited, looking forward to it. There's no downside in that, so I'm sure that it's different. It's out of our routines, but I think I'm excited about it, and I hope our players are excited about it. We're playing 2 games that matter, and like I said, there's nothing we can do about it, so you better look forward to it.
Do you think it makes for a different, like a noticeably different kind of build up to the season?
It's
for
different,
guys?
but it's different for the Padres as well. So you got to make do with it.
Dave, we all have our preconceived notions of people before we get to know them. Is there something about Shohei that has surprised you or that you didn't anticipate?
I think the English, he's better than he exudes. I think his eagerness to assimilate with his teammates. I think that, the pitcher hitter component, the Japanese player component, so that in itself sort of puts him in a certain category to kind of individualize him, right? Different than other players. But in the short time that I spend with him, he's engaged in meetings. He contributes, and there's been some outings and some things with his teammates that he's participated in. So that's something that you never know until you get to spend time with the player. But that's something as far as us, he knows, his value for the team and the organization, and that's been fun for me.
Going back to Walker, is there like a best case scenario in mind for like the soonest he could be ready?
I'm not going to give that. I don't know. That's just, I just don't think there's a whole lot of upside. I don't know. Thanks, guys. Yep.